I never did anything with fundraising before, and I decided I was going to do it and just wing it. And in the 3 years I did it so far, I raised over $102,000 for the organization.
Welcome to Skills Exchange Podcast. Today we have our special guest, Andy. Andy, you want to introduce yourself, your name, and where you're at?
Hi, my name is Andy Mattox. I live in Medina, Ohio.
All right. And today we have Andy on because he's his 4th annual Enhancing Skills for Life bowling fundraiser. Rock and Bowl fundraiser is happening in, what's the date?
September 11th, 12th, and 13th.
September 11th, 12th, and 13th over there in Medina.
Correct.
So go ahead and tell us about your story, Andy.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I was basically electrocuted with 7,200 volts at my job on August 31st of 21. And really didn't know what was happening to me, why that was going on. I just was like frozen. I couldn't move. I seen a guy down below, looked like he was yelling and screaming, raising his arms up in the air, but all I could hear was a buzzing sound going through my head. And I had a thought in my head for probably about 10 seconds while this was going on. I was thinking to myself, I said, am I having a stroke? I don't know what it's like to have a stroke. I know I couldn't move, I couldn't hear nothing but that buzzing sound. So once AC voltage is in your body, it will bounce around till it finds a way to get out of your body. It was trying to get out my left arm, and it was, like I said, it bounces around your body. And down in my left pocket, I had some keys and a flashlight. And once that AC voltage hit that, it blew out my leg. And then I collapsed after that went down. I came through a couple times while I was up in the bucket truck in the air. I was up there for about 35 minutes before they were able to rescue me. The area that we were at was heavily grown vegetation, tree limbs going across the roadway into each other, and you couldn't see any lines when I went up there. And come to find out after the fact, they had trees fall on these electric lines numerous times over the years, and instead of cutting the trees back and rerunning a new line, they kept making the line longer and putting Band-Aids on it to get the customer back up and running. Well, that line should have probably been about 8 feet above where I was at, and it was about a foot when I got up there and I saw the line. I did what I needed to do, and basically the cable, as I was coming down with the bucket caught a tree limb and brought the electric line to the arm of the truck. My hand was on the joystick when that completed the circuit and had the voltage go through me. All 4 tires melted on the bucket truck. Like I said, I was up there for 35 minutes, and not knowing, I came through a couple times and stood up, and there were people yelling at me to sit back down because they didn't know if the lines were still alive. They couldn't touch the bucket truck because they didn't know if it was energized still. They had to wait till the electric company got there. And once the electric company got there, they determined that no voltage was on the truck. So They were going to try to bring the controls down, and then the fire chief said no, because we don't know if there's any damage to the truck. He might come crashing down. So the area that, like I said, that I was in was so dense that my bucket truck was smaller than the electric company's bucket truck, and they came through and they couldn't get into the area I was at, so they had to actually trim tree limbs down so they could get in there. And then the gentleman that pulled up alongside me in his bucket truck, when he got up there, he asked me if I could hear him, and I said yeah. And he goes, "Can you stand up?" I said, "I don't feel my left leg or my left arm, but I'll try." And I stood up. Then I looked, and I was more coherent then, and I heard, or I saw, probably 30 some odd people down there all looking up at me. And I'm like, what is going on? And he told me that the guy from the electric company told me I got in contact with the 7200 primary line, and that I was electrocuted. And he told me he was going to basically do a bucket transfer, and I had to ask him what that was. I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, I'm going to take your safety harness, put it on to my truck, and I'm basically going to manhandle you out of your bucket into mine." And while he was doing that, about halfway getting into his bucket truck, I passed out again. And next thing I wake up inside a life flight helicopter. So what happened before I got to the helicopter, they had the fire department took me out of the electric company's bucket truck. They got me on a gurney. They got me down to the ambulance, and they drove me to an open field where the life flight was waiting for me. And I had basically came through. I woke up while I was in there, and the RN, the life flight nurse, was asking me questions, and I was having a conversation with him, and I was asking him if he knew my niece, because my niece is the life flight for the Metro Health. And he goes, "Yeah, I know Melissa real well." So here I am having a conversation with this guy, and don't even know what the heck's going on with me, really. I didn't. So obviously they gave me something to sedate me. I don't remember anything with the helicopter ride to Metro. Next thing I wake up in the operating room, and they're asking for consent, life or limb, because they didn't know if my what was going on. I was going in a rhabdo where my kidneys and everything was shutting down. So they ended up, the next day I woke up, my arm's gone. My left leg's all bandaged up where they electricity exited my body. My right wrist and my palm was burnt down to the bone, basically. All the flex tendons in the right hand were destroyed. So they had to, they were going to try to do donor tendons, but once it went in and seen all the damage, they really couldn't get my hand work. So this is what I got now. One of these little devices. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. It comes off my hook, off my wrist. The hook does, and it allows me to do everyday tasks. So that's pretty much what happened. Day 2 after my operation, I was looking. I'm thinking to myself, I said, I got 2 options here. I could lie here, be miserable, make everyone's life around me miserable, get addicted to pain pills or medicine, or option B was to help others. My first thought was to help veterans coming back from the military, because I had 21 years in the Air Force, and figured I could, I had a good positive attitude that I could maybe help veterans come back as amputees. And then I was thinking, I said, why would I just hold it to veterans? Because I didn't happen while I was in the military. It happened in a civilian job. So through my course of recovery, I got involved with this one physical therapist, occupational therapist rather, who knew another person named Joyce Tyler, who basically knew of Enhancing Skills for Life. And so Kim had reached out to Joyce and basically told me about Skills for Life workshops, Skills for Life 6. I believe that was in October of 22. And they pulled strings, and I was able to go to that one. This was like a month before the event was happening. Mm-hmm. So that was my first experience of going to Skills for Life workshop, and I was amazed. The people I met, there was approximately 16 other people that were electrocuted like me at that event, and just seeing how far they advanced and how they did basically gave me the inspiration that, hey, I got this. I'm gonna make things work. I'm gonna move on, and I was so touched by, you know, the people that were there, and I, you know, met and created so many friendships, bonds, and still keep in touch with most all of them today. Mm-hmm. And it was just a great experience, knowing that. And that's pretty much the story of how I got involved with Enhancing Skills for Life.
To sum it up, you were a cableman for cable TV?
Yeah, I was actually running fiber optic cable.
And how long had you been doing that before your accident?
Probably a good 13 years. 13
years. So life was running along pretty good, and you had a nice job. Yep. Then this accident happened, and through an occupational therapist, you met Joyce Tyler, who got you going to the Enhancing Skills for Life.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I got involved with talking with Sean Johnson, and she pulled strings and got me into there, you know, a month before the event was happening. So I was very thankful.
Yeah, I remember meeting you there at the poolside and talking to you a little while. And then you, what made you want to go to the Ronnie's bowling tournament?
October of 22 was the workshop, Skills for Life 6. Mm-hmm. And I found out that the bowling tournament was in, I think it was February of 23. And, you know, I was asked if I would be interested in going. And I said, well, how am I going to bowl? And we talked about a bowling device. And I was like, okay, that sounds pretty interesting. So when I had first had my prosthetic made, I got it maybe 2 weeks before going to Skills for Life 6. And it was pretty much more like a prototype. It was a one-off that they were kind of designed for me, and they ended up making it better and stronger. You know, a couple years later, I got a different one that's all solid state and easier to wear, easier to put on, and they incorporated a quick disconnect so I could change my hook out with different devices.
Yeah.
So this device here, you see down on the bottom is a quick disconnect that will go into where my hook goes into my prosthetic. Mm-hmm. That device goes in there and it hooks up to the cable right there on that little thumb part. And when I go to insert the tip into the bowling ball hole, I could basically, you know, when I go to throw the ball, it pulls on the cable and it releases the ball. And you can see this screw with the nut up there.
Mhm.
That's so you could adjust the size of the hole of the bowling ball. Usually when I go to different places to bowl that I'm flying somewhere, I don't bring my ball. I bring my device, and I use basically a lane ball. And so I got to make adjustments on that. And I'm always constantly making adjustments on that too when I'm bowling with my ball, because a lot of times you get oil that gets inside the hole, and then it just changes everything. It slides right out, and you got to dry the oil out and maybe put powder on your rubber part of that bowling device. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of patience, and trying to get the ball to go where you want it to go sometimes. But I'm getting better. So basically, that bowling attachment, you got to make adjustments so you could hold onto the ball. And it just works with a 7/16 wrench that you can make adjustments with. So as a amputee bowler, I actually have my highest score of a 186.
Nice.
And my goal right now is to at least reach 200.
Mm.
Hopefully I'm going to get that before my event come up in September.
Yeah.
But on average, I'm probably in the 130s.
Nice. Before you lost your limbs and lost use of your other hand, how much did you bowl?
I mean, I bowled, but not much.
Mm-hmm.
I bowled more when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But then this device gives me the opportunity to get back in to doing some kind of sport.
Yeah.
And right now I'm also trying to get a golf attachment that could go in there and allow me to go golfing again as well.
Yep. So when you went to Ronnie's tournament, something inside of you moved you to want to do that. Is that right? Or how did that come about for you?
I was so impressed with the organization and what they were doing to help us learn new skills that I said, I got to get involved somehow. So 2 weeks later, I'm on the phone with Ronnie and Sean. Hey, how do I start something like this up in Ohio? And, I never did anything with fundraising before. And I decided I was going to do it and just wing it. And in the 3 years I did it so far, I raised over $102,000 for the organization, which helps us reach out to new and existing members of the organization so we could go to different functions and learn different skills. And yes, Sam and Jason are the cornhole kings. I had to throw that out there.
I was gonna bring my trophy. I actually have my trophy right over here.
But that's all right. I got my second place trophy. I'm looking at it right now. So that was, some of the things that we go to these events, and you learn, you meet new people, you bond with them, and you learn from them. It's something that we need to do, and if someone's down, this might bring them up.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, I could do this. So, but that's really what got me going, was after I went to Ronnie's event. And at Skills for Life 6, they taught us how to, they had a swimming pool there, they had instructors, they had all kinds of different events going on. They had the last one we were at, they had the golf attachments there, and was able to swing a club, and I was hitting them pretty good. So
yeah,
they did it in 22. We went to a range, I forgot about that, and I was smacking them with the one arm, about 140 yards and straight. So that's not bad.
That's really good.
Yeah.
We're grateful for your fundraising events that help us do events. And one of them I can think of too is that triathlon
Oh yeah.
in San Diego. Where was you a swimmer?
I was a swimmer, just like
Yeah,
you.
I was a swimmer too. But because of Andy, we were able to do a lot of events, and because of the money you're raising. And
And
also,
Ronnie.
like when the activity happens, like when bowling happens, it's not just the teaching of things or teaching how to do things. It's also like um, other things like making friendships. Could you talk about a little bit about that?
Well, it's not just all just friendships too. I mean, that's a big part of it. And I like last year I brought in, some two two or th- two or three new quad amputees and quad amputees to my event, and they made some connections, and hopefully they're going to come back again this year. Um, and talking about that, I'm going to go off track a little bit. Last year we had an Elvis impersonator with one of the dinners we did, and a Blues Brother tribute in a dinner. And the Elvis impersonator been at every one of my events so far, and he's always welcome for one of the nights. He always brings a good crowd in, and everybody's like, "You got to bring the Blues Brothers back too."
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Okay." They said they got a bunch of people that are going to love to come to see it, and unfortunately, we had some of our members that weren't able to attend last year and witness that. So, it's to be another experience for people that didn't make it last year that are going to come this year. So it's going to be a good time.
Part of what's great about Skills for Life and other events that Enhancing Skills for Life does is that you get to meet other people in person. And for me, like knowing I wasn't alone helped me a lot. Because at sometimes when I was first coming out of the hospital, it felt like I was the only one in the whole wide world that had no hands. And even meeting other people that, some people were born without arms, and you're looking at them and you're like, hey, if they can do it, I can do it.
And I'm going to piggyback on that, because when I went to Skills for Life 6, Anya was the general that was born without any arms. She was the first one I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sitting in the lounge, and she has her pocketbook on the floor. She has her phone, and she's texting with her toes. I said, "Holy crap, that's amazing."
Yeah.
Right. And then, I didn't really notice amputees before. I honestly can't say that I knew amputees until after I got involved with this organization or actually became one, because like you stated, I felt like I was the only one in the world that was missing an arm, and then I go down to this event and meet these amazing people and learn so much from them. It just changed my world. It gave me, something to strive and live for, and a new direction in life.
The bowling tournament for a person that's a double hand amputee isn't necessarily about winning the bowling so much as it is trying a new thing, getting a couple strikes, feeling success, creating friendships, and those types of things. Because like some people might say, "Oh, I'm not going to win the bowling tournament, so I don't want to go." But it's not about the bowling tournament, really. It's
the bonding.
Yeah, the bonding. Like you guys going to karaoke and
Yep.
going to the restaurant and the memories you make, you know.
Oh yeah.
Not everyone's gonna win the bowling tournament, just one person, but that doesn't
Yep.
mean you shouldn't come.
Always someone's guaranteed in our group to walk away with a trophy.
Yeah, yeah,
The high scorer gets it.
yeah. And I know you're working on your bowling, and you're probably one of the better ones in bowling.
No, Ronnie's pretty good, and he wants to claim his trophy back because who won it last year? I think it was JJ.
Oh, JJ Orsak,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
and JJ took the trophy home last year.
Yeah. So there is a competition element of that of the bowling tournament, but the camaraderie.
Oh yeah, we'll get competitive.
Yeah, the camaraderie. So if you want competition, there's gonna be competition. If you're just wanting to try a new thing, that's gonna be a good opportunity as well. And you're gonna succeed. There's a lot of occupational therapists there to help you succeed. So like if you're talking to a new amputee, like say this podcast goes out to a new amputee, why should they attend the 4th annual Rock and Bowl tournament?
If you're a new amputee and you haven't experienced meeting other amputees, you're going to learn a lot. Not just because you're coming to my event. You're gonna learn. First of all, you're gonna learn skills. You're gonna learn how, depending on what your level of amputee is. We have quad amputees that come here and been quads for quite a number of years, or congenitals where they're born that way. They just know and they guide you. They help you. They'll be there for you if you have any questions, helping you along the way. And there's a lot of information out there that you get by attending different events and the workshops we have every 3 years. I highly recommend any new amputee to come. I mean, my first one I went to, I was just floored because, like I said, feels like I was the only one out there, and that's, I believe, probably 99% of the people that are newly amputee feel the same way. And I tell you one thing, I notice amputees now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like when you get that new car and and then after you buy that brand new car, you start seeing that same car all over the place.
Yeah.
But now, no. And, you know, you get each other, and, you know, we gotta grow these bonds. We gotta help each other out so we can stay strong and positive and move on with life, and letting you know that, you know, we can do anything if we put our mind to it.
I think the other thing is, like, your first experience was experiencing the actual event Skills for Life, but those
Right.
only happen every 3 years.
Yep.
And so there are get-togethers that are in between that if you're brand new and missed Skills for Life, going to a bowling tournament or the ski trip that just had is like a miniature Skills for Life, because you're meeting and talking to other people that can explain, oh, how did you do that? Okay, I do it like this. And then if you want to try it, if you want to do it, then you try it, you know?
So this year, I mean, each year I always try to do something fun with the group on a Saturday before we actually have the dinner and the show. The first year we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The second year, I was trying to get the Football Hall of Fame, but couldn't make the connections to get that done for that year. So we went to like and not an amusement park, an entertainment place where they had all kinds of gaming and, you know, putt,
yeah,
bumper cars and all, you know, race track and whatever else they had in there. They had all kinds of stuff in there. And then this third year, which I was upset you weren't going to come to it because you wanted to go to the Football Hall
I
of Fame.
will too. I wanted to go there so bad.
And that's what we ended up doing the third year. Now, last year, my mind starts going even before, like this year's event. I mean, before we even completed last year's event, my mind's already going, hey, what am I going to do the next year?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still working it, but I'm trying to get us to go to a shooting range. It's not going to be shooting like a real gun. It'll be like a pellet gun, but somebody who wants to maybe get back into hunting or stuff like that. This might be a first step to get them back into a range and shooting a gun. We got to work on a stand to modify it to hold the rifle and figure ways, for everyone to be able to join in and perform and shoot.
Yeah. So
that's one of the things I'm trying to do this year for that Saturday for something fun to do. And I'm really close to nailing that down.
Yeah. I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when I went to your first one. And that was very memorable. And then like doing that arcade was super fun.
Right.
Anya schooled me in whatever game we were playing. I think it was a version of cornhole, but once we got the real cornhole boards out,
come on,
man, she can't touch.
You're going down next time. You and Jason cheated.
No. There was judges all over the place. It's a clean game.
Okay. It was close. I know you guys are sweating.
We did. I mean, I got a little, yeah. Don't worry. We'll win it back again. Run it back again. For me, when I first got hurt, your part of the recovery process is a mental process. And for me, finding ways to help others helped my mental health a lot, to know that I could do something to make a difference still.
I totally agree with you 100%. It gives you something to strive and live for. And it keeps me focused, grounded, and doing a good thing, helping others.
Yeah. And so like helping others more, you're helping others, but you're also helping yourself. And
right.
Sometimes when a new person suddenly has this huge change in life, it feels like, oh, if I could only get so-and-so to help me, or such and such to help me. But it's like sometimes it's inverse, like you help other people and it helps you.
Yep.
So could you tell us what's your driving force to keep going and doing these bowling tournaments?
It makes me feel good inside, knowing that I'm being able to help others get the benefits that I got from the organization. It's something that we need to strive for, to help others, and we're doing that. I mean, the organization is helping people around the world, not just in the United States. It's that involvement that other countries want to get involved with, doing like a Skills for Life in the UK. Mm-hmm. It's needed. It's something that we need in this world, to help everybody learn and strive for the next level in life here.
So when people want, like, say a person is moved to create a fundraiser on their own, do you think their first step should be to do that?
Motivation. You definitely got to be motivated to do it and committed, because it's not an easy task. You got to have dedication to and the drive to continue to do it, and I'm willing to help other people who may be interested in trying to get a fundraiser going. If they need guidance, I would love to maybe travel to them and give them some pointers, get them going in the right direction. And I'm always there if they have questions. Say, hey, what do I do about this? How do I get this sponsor? And Sean has been a great provider of that, because she has that information from Ronnie's event, and she basically has the forms to do this, and she inputs my information in there and about my events, makes changes to flyers and stuff like that. So if you noticed, in my background I had that, that's going to be like the t-shirt design for this year, and minus where it says the Blues Brothers on there, because they were telling me they didn't, the actual soul men who do the Blues Brother tribute don't want the Blues Brothers on the shirt because it's representing. They said, put the picture so they could see, but don't have the name on there.
Yeah.
So
the shirt's going to be red this time.
The shirt is going to be red. I decided, like the first year my shirts were blue, but the flyer was orange, and I decided that I'm going to make the whatever the color of the flyer is for the event, that's going to be the color of the t-shirt for that year. So it's going to be red this year.
Yeah, well, we're super grateful here at Enhancing Skills for Life for all the work you do. You're an example of good in the world, and I enjoy always being around you and hearing you sing karaoke.
I'm glad we got you up there at Skills for Life singing. You and
me and Jason. I mean, when we win a tournament and just decimate all our opponents, then we'll have to celebrate by karaoke. So yeah. But you're enjoyable to be around and a fun guy. And so I know anyone that goes to the bowling tournament, Andy is one of the great hosts of events that Enhancing Skills for Life has. So if you're out there and thinking, I need a new hobby, I want to try something, I suggest bowling. And then 2, come to Cleveland, Medina, Ohio, and do the 4th annual Rock and Bowl tournament. And there'll be other things that you can try. And
don't forget there's scholarships.
And there's scholarships, so just fill out an application. Enhancing Skills for Life will help with your airfare and your hotel. And I guarantee that you're gonna learn something, you're gonna make some friends, and you're gonna make some great memories. So
Absolutely.
Any last words, Andy?
I just welcome anybody in our organization that wants to come, new, past attendees. They could all, they keep coming because it's a great time and a good bonding experience and learning.
Yeah. It's like you don't see those friends all the time, but when you get back together, it's just like when you left, huh?
Right. It's like the friendships we join, it bond, it just, we may see each other a couple times a year, but it seems like we're not that far apart from each other.
Yeah.
It keeps us, we're always excited and happy to see each other.
Yep. The
Yep.
friendship picks up right where it left off. That's the thing.
Exactly. That's what I think. That's what I was trying to say, but I couldn't put it that way, Sam. You did.
Yeah.
You outdid me there again.
No.
You're the champion.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast, Skills Exchange podcast, and tune in next time for another great Skills Exchange podcast.
See you, Sam.
Yeah.